You know that little voice in your head that goes like, why are you doing this? What are you trying to do? Who do you think you are? Are you trying to improve yourself? Why? If you're gonna go do something that you're passionate about, to go do that one thing, to go date that person or choose that career, people are going to talk bad about you. They're gonna judge you and they're gonna punish you. They're gonna abandon you. Even though in reality it's not like that, you kind of tell yourself this again and again. Now that little voice is what you call self-sabotage. And if you break it down, it is self-judgment. You judge yourself more than other people. You are your worst critic. Let that sink in for a moment. Just let that sink in. Because what you're doing is you're valuing other people's opinions, all right? When there's not even there, when people are not even present, it's like their voices run inside your head, run inside our heads, and they kind of impact our productivity, our efficiency, and the direction that we're trying to go in life. Kind of fucks up everything. It's so bad, it's so real that we don't want to accept it. Kind of keep it so submerged deep inside. We don't want to accept the fact that we have so much self-judgment. I know it's painful. I know it's hard to sit there and accept like, yes, I have so much self-judgment. We're always in the fear of what other people are thinking about us. Even though there's not many, we have that fear, and this kind of impacts us in our decision-making abilities, in how we start, even pursuing goals. Kind of blocks us from giving our whole self to our goals, visions, ambitions, our hobbies, and whatever we want to do. Even going to the gym and trying to get fit, we feel like, what will other people think about us? Oh my God, I'm doing the bicep curl. What is that person thinking about me? I'm doing the bicep curl. Does the person think I'm doing it wrong? Am I lifting heavy enough? All these voices just keep going on inside your mind, and then you realize that nobody actually judges you as much as you judge yourself. And that's the whole truth. And why that actually happens. Because let us rewind, let us pause for a moment. Self-judgment, the whole root cause of it is we have had experiences where other people have judged us while we were a kid, while we in our childhood, throughout our growing period, our early childhood, later childhood, our teenage years. These are the definitive years, from where we have had first-hand trauma, second-hand trauma, third-hand trauma, and all that combined builds up together and impacts our decision-making skills and all our abilities and the ways how we cope with ourselves and our waking lives when we get older. That's why they say people who grow older grow better, because they have so much baggage and kind of compounds. They don't let go of it, just keep it submerged. They have this fear. What is other people thinking about me? They have this fear. Oh my God, oh my God. And even that fear is not being expressed outside. It is so kept inside their own heart, own mind. It's like they're just holding it in. They're holding it in. And one day it blasts when they're 50, 55, 60, even in their mid 40s. They see a kid, they see a teenage guy, or a guy or a girl who's 9, 10 years old. They go and they inflict their wounds upon them. They like transfer the pain that they've gone through into these younger kids, traumatizing the younger generation again. And this passes on. This is generational trauma. You've heard about generational wealth. Well, welcome to generational trauma, where your fathers, your forefathers, your mothers, your grandmothers, your family members, your uncles, your aunts, everybody pass on the trauma that they had, the pain that they had, the wounds that have been inflicted upon them, and they'll all give it to you, and they give it to you for free. You don't even have to go and you don't even have to ask. It's so beautiful. They just come in any gathering, even your friends, generational trauma. They just pass on trauma from one person to another person, and this is transfer learning. You kind of learn this trauma, and you as a kid kind of take in this trauma. And then when you grow old, even if you're not let go of all this baggage, you become better yourself, and you'll pass on to your kids, and they'll pass on to their kids, and they'll pass on to their kids, and it keeps going on and on and on. And more than your name, more than your last name, your trauma will be present in one of your future grandkids. That's how messed up it is. So stop it now. Now I hit the table so damn hard, and the camera just went down. Let me just set it back up again while I'm talking about generational trauma. So my personal life, there have been incidents when I was 12 years old, 13, 14 years old, and I used to wear, all these colorful shirts. And I used to go to these gatherings, quote unquote family friends gatherings. And they used to tell, like, there's this one guy, one bitter guy in his late 50s. I was just there in my flow state. And I used to not care about what people told to me, and how I dressed, how I was wearing, what kind of music I listened to. Like, nobody really told me anything about that. Until then, I vaguely remember it was 12 or 13 years old. This guy in his late 50s, he comes and he's like, oh, you listen to that kind of music, huh? Oh, something's wrong with you. You're wearing the shirt? And he goes on saying all these messed up shit. Like, all this mess. I'm like, what? And at that moment, as a kid, I did not have enough awareness. And it's the same thing to you. As a child, when you're young, you don't have much awareness of the world. Your whole world is your family and school. All right? And when something happens here, you feel like the whole world is against you. So when the teacher yells at you, you feel like your whole world is being shattered, because that's all you know. So kids who have been shouted upon by their teachers, they have trouble expressing themselves. And in later life, they kind of move towards this phase of introversion. Even though they're extroverted people, they kind of shy away from expressing themselves, because they feel if you express yourself, you will be shunned upon, you'll be shouted at, people are going to laugh at you, and then people will abandon you and you will die alone. So it's this fear of abandonment, fear of being laughed at. And that happened just once or twice in your childhood. And that memory kind of inflates itself, becomes so big, it keeps replaying back and back again in your mind, that you have this trauma bondage with that incident. And this prevents you from thriving in your daily waking life. It prevents you from expressing yourself, being your true authentic self, and even pursue whatever you want in life. It prevents yourself from succeeding in any venture. It's like an emotional block. It's like a spiritual block, and it manifests itself in so many other ways. So as I mentioned, in my personal life, I had this one guy who came up to me. He completely shattered my confidence at the beginning of my early teenage years. And then I would be so self-judgmental, like, what am I wearing? Because I did not want to experience the same situation ever again. I'll be so self-conscious. Like, am I wearing the right color? Am I wearing the right collar? Oh my God, my collar is too flat. Should I put collar stays in? Oh, I don't want anybody to know that I listen to this kind of music. Oh my God, oh my God. Like, all this was happening inside my mind. This kind of prevented me from expressing myself and being my true authentic self. And then as years passed on, this manifested in me consuming alcohol, me going and smoking cigarettes. And as I learned to let go of that addiction, I also learned to let go of that pain, let go of that situation and other similar situations such as this. And once you let go of the pain, once you let go of the trauma, once you let go of the baggage, it's so much more easier. The mind is free. So when you had all these noises like, oh my God, what are people going to think about you? Are you seriously wearing that? Are you seriously wearing that? You think you're cool. And all these kind of faint. All these voices kind of faint. They become fainter, softer, and softer. And slowly it will turn into a whisper. And it'll be so small that you'll barely even hear it. Like, oh my God, what will other people think about you? Oh my God, what will other people think about you? It'll be so soft, and boom, they're gone. And then you have these other voices where you try to reprogram yourself. If you let go of it, you start reprogramming yourself to like accept self-love, start loving yourself, bringing back the confidence that you lost due to traumatic events. The other voices suggest, oh my God, I'm so happy. I love myself. I love being in this state. I'm so grateful for the human being I am. I am perfect the way I am. I am the best version of myself. I am doing the best I can with the available resources. And when you start being grateful, it automatically puts you in this higher vibrational state. And then you unlock this freedom of authenticity. You don't care about what other people even think about you, and there's no self-judgment. In whatever task you try to go and try to accomplish, whatever venture that you want to start, whatever hobby that you want to pursue, or even when you want to talk freely in front of your friends, you can. There is nothing holding you back. It's like the weight is lifted upon your shoulders and you're so free in this moment. And everything just happens in a flow state and life is flowing and you're shifted to this higher being. You don't really care. That day I bought this scarf, my friend and me were shopping together. And she loved a scarf similar to this, but it was blue in color. She wanted to buy. I found this, I bought it. She was like, oh my God, what will other people think? I can't really wear this in public. I can't even wear it in front of my roommates. Oh my God, I can't even wear it to my kitchen. I stay with two people. They judge me. Yo, girl, listen, calm down. Take a deep breath in. Take a deep breath out. Why? Right now, I was the same place as her. 2-3 people came and told me some stuff about my clothes, and I'd be so self-conscious. And now after letting go of the trauma, letting go of the pain, it's so much more easier. I rock this scarf outside, and I'm so happy, and I'm vibing, and I'm in this high vibrational state. And if you notice, people don't go bully people who are in high vibrational states. It's people who are vibrating at a lower vibrational state. If you're already feeling self-doubt, if you're already not feeling that sure about your confidence on yourself, only then people try to come and prick you. They try to hurt you. If you're strong on the inside, they'll come and they'll try their tactics, they'll try to come and poke you. But if you're not reacting, you're stoic, and you know your self-worth, and you know that other people's opinions, words, and thoughts about you did not have any impact on you because you love yourself more, and that's the only thing that matters. And when you realize that, when that's ingrained in your body and soul and mind, you kind of don't care what other people say. When you're vibrating at this higher state, people in lower vibrational paradigms such as guilt, hate, apathy, anger, that come and try to inflict their wounds upon you. And when they see there's no effect, when they see you are still thriving and you love yourself more and don't really give a shit about them, you just give up. You just move on to the next person to pass on their trauma to. Like, I suffered. I had so much pain. I want everybody else to feel the same pain. This is the thing that these people are trying to live by. This is their whole motive. They had certain set of traumatic events. They have not let go of them. And they want everybody else to experience the same set of traumatic events. They don't like to see anybody happy. When they see you vibing in this high vibrational state, when you see you vibing in this flow state, being your true authentic self, you are kind of emitting that energy waves that kind of provokes them. They're like, how dare you do that? How dare you do that? When I am suffering here, how can you go be laughing like that? And that is so bad. And this is the reality. They are in so much pain. They have not let go of it. They're in so much anger. They have not let go of it. And they try to pass it on to you. And they don't want you to achieve this higher vibrational state. They don't want you to love yourself because they don't love themselves. And this is the whole reason. And now the baggage that you had, now this manifests into those voices that you hear inside your head every time you go and try to do something. That basically is self-judgment. And how you actually let go of it? Let go. Right? First thing, identify what things or what series of events have caused this self-judgment. For me, I told you a very good example of mine is one guy came and told me about my music taste and the clothes I was wearing. And I was so self-judgmental about other people trying to know my taste in music and also seeing me in clothes. Now I'm very open about my music taste. Dude, I listen heavy metal, I listen to Disney songs, I listen to Frozen, Let It Go, I listen to Into the End. Frozen is one of my favorite Disney, records of all time. And I also love Mulan, I love The Lion King, I love Tarzan, and I also listen to EDM, LSO, Hardwell, Tiesto. I listen to opera, I love Luciano Pavarotti, I love Franco Corelli. And I don't really care what other people think about me. Sometimes I listen to Olivia Rodrigo. Even though people say a lot of things, I don't really care. I know my worth, I enjoy my music, I enjoy the clothes I wear, I love this scarf, and I don't really give a shit. So none of that actually affects me anymore. None of what people's judgment about me affects me anymore. So you have to identify why you're having these self-judgmental thoughts. Who punished you for being your true self? Who inflicted their wounds upon yourself? Who wounds upon you? Who transferred their trauma to you? Identify the situation or situations and let go of them. And then reprogram yourself into self-love, gratitude. And gratitude is so important. Every single day, be happy for what you've done. You can write it down, you can say it to yourself, and even think about it. Every time before you go to sleep, 10 minutes before that, be grateful for the day that you had, because just that 5 minutes of gratefulness puts you on to this higher vibrational state that actually elevates you, and it kind of does all the inner work for you. And it's subconscious programming. It's like you're reprogramming yourself. It'll be so much more easier for you to express yourself, be in a state of love, and actually thrive.